Turning AI's limitations into opportunities, leveraging AI for critical thinking in system thinking education. Hi, I'm Benjamin from South Korea. If you are interested in me, this QR code will help you. This is my conclusion. Practicing system thinking with the help of AI can develop philosophical thinking, especially critical thinking. I will connect system thinking, AI, and philosophical thinking by focusing on operational thinking, hallucination issue, black box nature, reproducibility problem, critical thinking, epoche. In system thinking, the operational thinking perspective focuses on how things work. This is naturally leading to a strong interest in causality. This focus necessitates distinguishing between correlation and causation. System dynamics doesn't reject correlation, but pursuing causality is a system thinker's mission and destiny. It's like a Sisyphus rolling his rock, endless and necessary. That's why we emphasize approximation. Whenever we talk about downsides of AI, we mention hallucination issue, black box nature, reproducibility problem. By definition, hallucination is something that you see, hear, feel, or smell that does not exist. A year ago, hallucinations were used to mock AI because there are so many wrong answers. However, hallucination issues are diminishing at a very rapid pace, but it still exists, they admit it. Black box nature. The black box nature of AI is non-negotiable from system thinking perspective that value operational transparency. How about the reproducibility problem? AI uses large language models, LLMs, which generate responses based on statistical patterns. LLMs produce outputs stochastically based on probability distribution rather than deterministic rules. As a result, LLMs may provide different answers to the same question each time. You can try it yourself. Here is a QR code for more information. This is the question. As you can see, the same question does not produce the same result. This inherently conflicts with reproducibility, a cornerstone of scientific methodology. These characteristics, hallucinations, black box nature, and lack of reproducibility raise crucial questions. Can we consider AI outputs as scientific? How can we trust and utilize AI-generated information? These challenges lead us to the essential concepts in critical thinking, doubt, or epoche. Let's move on to philosophical thinking. The concept of doubt, which we often employ in critical thinking, has deep roots in philosophical tradition. In ancient Greek philosophy, this systematic application of doubts was encapsulated in the term epoche, meaning the suspension of judgment. Interestingly, we can see a similar principle in Immanuel Kant's work, though he didn't explicitly use the term epoche. In his critique of pure reason, Kant introduced the idea of critique, which involves systematically examining the capability and the limitations of a human reason. This, uh, this approach, while not identical to Epoche, shares its spirit of suspending immediate judgment and critically examining our thought processes. This concept has experienced a revival in modern philosophy. Edmund Husserl, the founder of phenomenology and influenced by Kantian philosophy, specifically emphasized epoche. Husserl advocated for suspending judgment to grasp the essence of phenomena, introducing the method of bracketing or parenthesizing as a practical application of epoche. Parenthesizing can set aside our assumptions more directly. Thus, we system thinker can say parenthesizing mental model is our discipline. In essence, Epoche encourages us to be suspicious, to question and suspend immediate judgment. This is a critical thinking approach that has evolved from ancient Greek thought through Kant to modern phenomenology. In summary, the drawbacks of AI, hallucinations, black box nature, and reproducibility issues are sensitive topics that create tension from the operational thinking perspective of system thinking. This tension is further intensified by the core concepts of critical thinking, epoche. Importantly, this very tension serves as a powerful driving force for learning. By the way, how about the hallucination issue made by human senses? Do you see a rectangle in the center of the image and that length and that rectangle has a gradation? There is a light on the left and darker toward the right. Do you still see a gradation? 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 No, this shape is the original. Can you trust your senses? Which color do you see? Black, blue, or white, brown? All three of these clothes are identical. Same color, same size. Can you trust your senses? These two flowers are identical. On the left is what it looks like to human eyes. On the right is what it looks like through the eyes of an insect. Humans see colors in RGB, but insects see colors in more diverse way. Plants evolved to attract insects. From the perspective of an insect, that red spot says, "Come here, don't go anywhere else. There is something good for you in the red spot." How do you think? Can you trust your senses? Do you still think the flower is yellow? If you say it's yellow, I think your thought is human hubris. System is value neutral, so by nature, system is open to different interpretations depending on the point of view. Now, we can understand a little bit why Nietzsche says there are no facts, only interpretations. Nietzsche's words should be interpreted carefully. He was emphasizing on the relativity of causality, not the absence of causality. So far, introduced the philosophical concepts of doubt or epoche, thanks to AI's shortcomings. However, you can leverage the power of AI for philosophical thinking. The best thing about AI that I've found is reasoning capability. Now, let's move on to system thinking. You can see this reasoning process in detail with the QR code. Don't miss the QR code. The more bullying behavior, the more victims' anxiety levels. The more bullying behavior, the lower academic performance of victims. I think we can all agree with these causalities, right? But how about this causality? Can you agree with this easily? At this point, let's call the AI. Please provide three conditions under which bullying behavior could lead to a decrease in victims' anxiety levels. Then AI will answer very, very nicely. We just pick and choose with doubt. The implication of this activity is that the causal relationship is dependent on condition. The philosophical community emphasizes the conditional causation in variety of ways. But from a system thinking perspective, we can come up with one word: diversity. The ultimate purpose of our favorite iceberg model is to highlight the mental model. Mental models can be understood as assumptions. Assumptions, by definition, is something that you accept as true without question or proof. People are concerned that assumptions are intensified by confirmation bias, and confirmation bias is also intensified by assumptions. On the other hand, confirmation bias is reinforced by the algorithm of AI, and AI is further enhanced by the confirmation bias because confirmation bias makes money. But what if you could use AI to attack assumptions? In this context, nowadays, I'm actively utilizing artificial intelligence in my system thinking class. I've included my lesson plan at the end of my supplementary materials. I want to share one more idea with you. I think the ultimate goal of practicing doubting and diversity in thinking is to get better decision making. And decision making involves compromise. In this process, there is a inevitable collective value selecting process. We must negotiate why certain values are better than others. This ability to prioritize values stems from the humanities, because the humanities are the stories of humans' value, humans' decision making. That is why we need to have an interest in the humanities. Yes, the ability to collectively select values can be enhanced by the humanities. The students who are trained with collective value selecting capability will be the global and democratic citizens. Diversity in ecosystems, society, culture, and politics will thrive with more of these citizens. And this diversity will eventually bring about a new belle epoch of the humanities. We can make these structures by combining system thinking education with AI. That's it. Thank you for your attention.